Jobs suck, banks are in trouble, and there's a lot more warning signs coming. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, July the 7th. I can't believe the year is half over, and the rally continues. The markets continue to explode, and again, one of the things we always warn you about is you don't fight the tape, you don't fight the market. There are warning signs, there are reasons to believe, but until they prove to you that it's going to happen, there's nothing to really do other than if you want to play the market right now, you play it from the long side. In the meantime, we'll get that in our market report. And of course, we had another jobs report on Friday and another bullshit piece of shit jobs number that, again, has been naturally phonied up by the current administration. Now, again, I'm not blaming this. This has been going on for years, but this is getting really ridiculous when we watch and look at the jobs and they tell us how good everything is going. In the meantime, out of the 206,000 jobs supposedly created, the unemployment rate rises. Okay, the 50% of the jobs were government jobs, which means that you and me, the poor taxpayer, get to pay for more worthless employees, so that the Biden administration can continue to pretend like they're creating jobs, which they have not. I will remind you the stat, which is clearly published, not my opinion. Since 2021, 66% of the jobs have gone to illegals, 33% have gone to Americans. Okay, and of course, as we continue to beat on the drum, that last month's jobs number was reduced by 57,000. So again, nobody looks at when they come up with the reinstruction of what the number was. They only look at the headline number. Okay. 17 or 18 out of the last 22 jobs numbers have been reversed or revised lower. So once again, we have the same old issue of bullshit. Okay. I mean, the absurdity of open borders is one of the things that I still don't understand, how Americans allow this to happen and stand back and let it. I mean, we are bringing in the worst of the worst. I'm not talking about good people that are coming in that would probably come in legally. I'm talking about you're getting the criminals, you're getting the killers, you're getting the spies, you're getting the Chinese that are trying to take over this country. You're getting them all, okay? As we said last week, the Chinese are accumulating farmland. Well, why the fuck do you think they're accumulating farmland? To wish us a howdy do? Okay? They're trying to get farmland so they can control the food supply, so that they can take over the world, so this will be the CCP of the USA. Okay? Again, you may be old enough not to have to worry about it, but your kids are going to be part of the Communist Party if we allow this to continue. Okay? We've got to stop. We've got to stop the open border. People want to come here. Listen, America is a country that comes with open arms, but not illegally. You want to come in right. Okay? That's the way that it should be done. But of course, why would this administration care? The progressives certainly don't care. They're trying to create globalism and destroy this country anyways. Okay, thank God that Bauman got defeated. That's one squad member down and 5 or 6 more to go. Okay, and of course, you're seeing some of these changes as New York has taken a lead over California with the wealthiest suburbs in the U.S. And of course, obviously, we know that a lot of the wealthy are leaving California as at least part-time and establishing residency elsewhere. So here's where the gimmick plays is if you can establish residency somewhere else, then you can pay less taxes and not have to pay those ridiculous California or New York or Illinois taxes because it's a joke. The government is basically just stealing your money. And of course, they tell you they're not raising taxes, but you have the hidden tax of inflation, which has not gone away. And even with all the numbers that they've been giving us and telling us how much better inflation is, July 4th goods cost the same as last year, which means that the numbers have not come down. Okay, which means that inflation is still ridiculously high, which means that your president is lying through his mouth. Of course, because I can't blame him for lying because I don't think he knows where he's at. Okay. But every part of them is lying to you with bullshit numbers, with garbage that they create, and they don't care. And of course, if you don't care, then hey, well, who am I to tell you? Okay. But you are watching the destruction of the United States of America. Okay. If you don't care about the country, okay, no problem. That's up to you. But I do care. And I think that you're watching destruction by everything that they do. I mean, the bifurcation of jobs shows there's no growth. Okay. We have no growth in this country. Okay. We have a lot of service jobs. We have a lot of people working multiple jobs to make ends meet. Okay. But your middle class is in a recession. I don't give a shit what they tell you and what you read. If you're among the middle class, you're struggling. Okay. Your credit card debt is through the roof. You are paying ridiculous interest rates to get that money. And that money will not be dischargeable by bankruptcy, although your great president will waive student loan debt. Is he going to waive your credit card debt? I hardly think so. Okay, so as they continue to bitch and talk about how the wealthy don't pay enough taxes, President Biden and crew continue to pave the way for the rich. Okay, they continue to pave the way for those who are among the upper 1% to shut out the small business, to shut out what is going on, and to destroy a full class of people. Because basically, what they want you to be is a serf. Okay, if you go back to the class system, they want the middle class and below to be serfs. In other words, slaves. Again, I think that, again, the jobs are weak. Biden continues to destroy free market capitalism. Now, again, I don't know about you, but I believe that we should all have a free market. And I believe that you should have the ability to make a name for yourself. Okay. Again, it's not easy. But again, when you continue to deny to let the free market work, which is what they do in the interest rate market. I mean, the free market clearly, for those of you who are old enough, you know that 5% or 4.5% tenure is cheap. Okay, not expensive. But of course, those that are under the age of probably 35, okay, don't realize that interest rates in the country ran very well with interest rates at 7, 8, and 9%. Okay, so here we are once again with a rally built on a potential rate cut, which is not coming. There's a greater probability of a rate hike. Okay, and of course, you then have the anti-American Disney. Walt Disney's probably rolling over his grave with his relatives that are running that country into the ground, taking down the American flags, a big percentage of them during July 4th, the birthday of this country. And remember, okay, that all great empires in history so far have failed between 200 and 300 years. We're at 248. And there's certainly a lot of warning signs of failure of democracy, of failure of the free market, a failure of capitalism, and all manipulated by your government. And in today's government, it is manipulated by the progressives, President Biden, and crew. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Top up orders. Let us step out here for a break, and we'll be back with our market report right after the break. What's up, kids? What's going on? And of course, as you know, we have some sponsors for the show, and they're brokerage sponsors and partners. And of course, listen, I have other brokers, so you have full disclosure. I'm not trying to push you. All I'm giving you is an opportunity to look at somebody who might be better for your needs, certainly less expensive for your needs, that I can guarantee. But we have TRADIER brokerage for equities and options. And of course, $10 a month, how can you beat it? And I do tell you this, that we have automation that you can use in any of our products for free, with the exception of our hedging program, which is a licensing fee. But at the end of the day, get something to trade for you based on the model that you're trading. Not bad. Check them out. They're on the side, their website. And of course, Capital Trading Group, who is our futures and commodities broker and partner, and they do a lot of products with us. But check them out, info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And of course, Wealth Charts, who has a great platform, and they're also tied into TRADIER. So check them out on the sides. And of course, don't forget about our high school program, which we continue to try to educate our children. Unfortunately, they don't want us to educate our children, but we'll get more on that later. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. We'll get back to our market report right after this. Welcome back. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, July the 7th, and markets continue to go higher. And again, you can continue to try to want to fight them. You can do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, if you're fighting the tape, if you are fighting the market, you are wrong. Okay, yes, there are tons of warning signs. Just like there were tons of warning signs in 1987, just like there were tons of warning signs in 2001, and all the way through the internet bubble. But again, until you can reach the conclusion that the market is turning over, to continue to try to guess that it's turning over is just really foolish. Okay, that's what it comes down to. It is foolish. Okay, and if you're doing it, shame on you, because all you're doing is putting yourself in danger. Okay, and as we do, each and every week, we continue to tell you where we stand, what our position is, and of course we want you to be prepared for what is going on, and put yourself in the best position. And as we look at the markets, we are still long everything but the Russell. Okay, and the Russell has been the weakest, but we are still long. Now again, tomorrow morning that could change for how our positions will end up. They could go flat. They won't reverse. At best, they'll go flat, because we already know, obviously, that we have some new trades coming for the week, but those have already gone out to our members. And in the meantime, in the euro currency, we are going to reverse to long either tonight or tomorrow. Obviously, we won't do it till tomorrow, but if you're trading along, you can reverse it tonight. Bitcoin, we are still short Bitcoin as it continues to get hammered. And now I'm a big believer, and I think that there's probably an opportunity somewhere down here to take a look at. In the bonds and notes, we are still short the bonds. We are going to reverse to long in the notes. Okay, once again, either tonight or tomorrow morning. In the metals, we're going to reverse gold to long, and silver to long, and platinum. We don't trade anymore, but platinum would be turning to long as well, along with copper. Okay. Now we were short those, or flat most of the week. Again, we had a big week last week. We had a great week. So again, remember, we can go flat based on what the overall trend is. But again, you want to be with the major trend. That's how you make the money. Okay. In the grain markets, grains are continuing to struggle. Now they had a nice up day on Friday. The question is, can they get some follow through? This has been the same problem. Okay. Now we're short grains across the board. Okay. I've bought some in my own account and another account. Okay. Because I'm willing to hold them, but I do think that, this week will be a big tell as if we're going to get some buyers. And I still believe that the Chinese are involved in trying to suppress the price of wheat, corn, and beans, so that they can take over the farmland. Again, remember, they're already the biggest holder of the biggest pork producer in the world, which is one of the U.S. companies, Smithfield, which is controlled by the Chinese. Okay, remember, they got a 100-year plan to take the country or take the world over. In the meantime, and cattle continues to go higher beyond my expectations. I can't believe it. We don't trade anymore, but I am short it myself. I am long hogs, which continue to go down. It's not a good spread. It's the old French book. But in the meantime, I think that they will turn around. Natural gas, we're short. Crude oil, we're long. And in the softs, cocoa, we're short. Sugar, we're long. Coffee, we're long. OJ, we no longer trade. And and cotton, we are short. So again, a big picture, but at the end of the day, markets seem to want to work their way higher. Quit fighting it. Quit trying to be smarter than the market. I don't care what the news is. It's all bullshit. Okay. The tape tells you the story. The market tells you the story. The chart that you're looking at will tell you the story. Don't try to predict out in front. Wait for a reason to do your thing. This is Bubba's Bottom Line, Top of Horrors. We'll step out here for a break and come back with my commentary right after the break. Well, kids, again, we're not going to go through all the sponsors. I give you the names, and it'll be quick, but it's TRADIER Brokerage, Capital Trading Group, Wealth Charts, our high school program, scrolling on the sides and on the bottom. And let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and, of course, my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, July the 7th, and here we are. Okay, we're, 4 or 5 months from the election, right? July, and we've got two old guys fighting it out. One who has totally lost his mind and got destroyed, that does not have to give up the presidency or the ability to run because he controls the delegates. So they may try to talk him into it, but we all know that he's a stubborn piece of shit anyways, a racist, stubborn piece of shit, and he always was. Again, those are not my opinions. Those are facts. All you have to do is look back. Either go back to the debate of 2020 and you can see what Kamala Harris said about him, or you can go back and look at every bill Joe Biden ever signed. He's a racist. He's a dumb racist, but he's a racist just to say. Okay. Now he's stubborn and he's not going to give it up unless they can somehow convince him. I don't think he is. On the other side of the coin, of course, is Donald Trump, who I did predict would win in 2015, and I voted for him. I'm not ashamed. Okay. I thought he did a great job, and I think he would do a great job again. What I'd really like to see, though, is I would like to see some young blood as part of the system. I would love to see President Trump take Vivek Ramos away or somebody young. Again, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of the same old political story. Okay? I'm tired of the George Soros who just decided to stop paying some of the protesters right now. I'm tired of having the deep state run everything behind the scenes that really runs this country, no matter what you might think, okay? And that was one of the nice things about Trump, because he didn't fall into that category with the deep state. But again, wouldn't it be nice to finally get some young blood in this country, some new ideas, instead of having the same old criminals steal our money through Ukraine, through a war that they continue to fund for no reason, okay? And of course, now you've got the progressives that are going to walk out on Netanyahu when he comes into town out of his speech. Don't you think it's time for a change? Don't you think it's time? And it's got to start somewhere. But certainly we know that Joe Biden is not the answer, okay? I'm not saying who is the answer, but we've clearly seen by the huge hikes in inflation, by the huge hike in everything else, by the disastrous open borders, and everything else that we've seen, that Joe Biden is not the right person. Have a great weekend, everybody. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. We'll see you back here tomorrow, of course, with Bubba's Daily Update. But until then, have a great weekend. Enjoy and be good.